This is a J Relly exclusive.
Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Chee Chatman with the Chee Chatman Show. Media on Mill. We got a very special guest in the motherfucking building. We're going to talk about his upbringing, his life, his business ventures. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. Everybody, I'm Brandon. Everybody knows me as B. And I'm just happy to be here. I told him it's my first podcast, so I'm just happy that he allowed me to come onto his platform and really put myself out there. So
man, it's love, bro. You know, we go way back, man. So we gonna get into a whole bunch of shit today, man. First and foremost, for the people that don't know you, and I know everybody know you, where we come from. Let's talk about your upbringing. Where are you from?
Man, South Phoenix, born and raised.
Okay.
So you know, as you know, from the South Side.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. How we move around down there, but hey, look, that's the heart of me on the South Side.
That's what's up, man. Let's talk about your siblings, man. How many siblings you got?
Man, I got 3 older brothers. So, you know, I got my oldest brother who's 8 years apart from me, and then a lot of people already know him. My brother Kerry, second oldest. Anybody that know him know he got the hottest super sport on the South Side. No disrespect. Don't disrespect. I know you got yours, but hey, look, man, I gotta put my money all the ways on my brother. He got the hottest Monte Carlo super sport on the South Side, from the interior to the exterior, under the hood, on the feet. Man,
yes, sir.
He ain't hard to find either. So
let's talk about it, man.
I mean, you know, my dog, my best friend. A lot of people know DJ Killer Cam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that's my best friend right there. He's sick. He has multiple sclerosis. So it's crazy because a lot of people see him on my stories now. That don't know him. They just think, you know, he was sick.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But being from the South Side, anybody on the South Side know Cameron was really out there.
Absolutely.
In high school and stuff. And so, you know, as a DJ, he was the first to break a lot of people's first records out here.
That's facts.
So, you know, you can ask anybody. He was the one spinning their records in the house parties and things like that. So, you know, DJ Killer Cam, that's my dog right there.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about your family dynamic. About, you know, mom's, dad. Are they still together? You know, did you come up with both parents, a single parent?
Most definitely came up with both parents. Okay. They were separated. So, you know, my dad is married. My mom takes care of my brother Cameron full time. But strong family dynamic. Both my parents been in my life all my life, been supporting me through everything that I do. So I'm so close to family. Like, that's one of the biggest things. One of the pillars of, you know, how I operate is family first. So. But yeah, I had a wonderful upbringing. Grew up in the South Side. It's funny because my dad's side is from the West Side. So, you know, my cousins on my dad's side, we always be having that South Side, West Side riff.
Absolutely.
But I mean, all in all, it's all love at the end of the day. But, you know, it's always South Side first.
Come on, let's talk about it. So, man, let's talk about South Phoenix. What part of South Phoenix did you grow up in?
So I grew up off 16th Street in the Mountain. So I was a Roosevelt school baby. I went to all the Roosevelt schools. A lot of people know my mom. She used to drive the bus for Roosevelt School District. So a lot of people rode my mom's bus. Jumped around from school to school, elementary schools in the Roosevelt, and then graduated from South Mountain. So, you know, you go to South, that's the part of South Phoenix right there. So just growing up, you know, just being a part of South Phoenix, I don't know, it's something different about that. Like, you grow up in a different mindset. I feel like you move different. That's why I say that's my jurisdiction right there. I don't like to go outside my jurisdiction from South Phoenix. As I get older, you know, you don't like to move around too much either. So you stay where you comfortable. So, but yeah, man, that's where I grew up at.
Okay, how was South around the time you was going?
Oh man, South was cracking. I got there in 2004.
Okay.
So my brother Cameron was a senior.
Okay.
And so, you know, and going into high school, my freshman year, I hung out with all my brother's friends. And so, you know, he DJ'd all the parties, so I'm going to all there. My sophomore year, I feel like I had to actually make high school friends. My brother graduated now. You know, most of his friends graduated, so, you know, I feel like that's when I really found my circle, my dogs. So,
absolutely.
You know, my dog Alon, and, you know, a lot of people that I grew up with and went to school with. I met my around my sophomore year. But it was everything. You had the basketball team was cracking at South. We won state my sophomore year. Yeah, man, a lot of the culture comes from South Mountain High School.
Absolutely.
South Phoenix, a lot of that culture comes from South Mountain. So, yeah, man, South is where it was at back when I was growing up. I don't know how it's academies at South now, which I don't mind. I like that. I like that they're bringing those magnet programs to South Phoenix to get those kids into something, learn trades and things like that.
Absolutely.
So when I went to school, I took law. They had a law program that I was in for a couple of years. I did a DECA program, marketing type deal, which I think actually being in DECA and marketing took me to the next level when I got older, because I was familiar with those things. And we'll get into that as we go along. But I think being in those DECA programs and those law programs really benefited me. So I'm happy that it's academies at South now. They got those magnets that will put kids in positions to really, be something.
Absolutely, man. Y'all had one of the best creative spaces on Rozier, the hip hop show.
Man, that Tupac hot.
Man, let's talk about, bro. I've never had any wings till this day that was better than the hip hop shop.
The hip hop shop wing, man.
Come on, let's talk about it.
Look, you can go in there and get a 6-piece wing and fried. Buy a whole outfit for the night and get a haircut all in one place, man. The hip hop shop. That's where I met my barber at. I was in 5th, 6th grade, and I had the same barber since I was in 5th grade. Went from the hip hop shop to Fabulous, and then over to Cuddy's. But the hip hop shop was a staple, and I be trying to tell my nephews and stuff about that. Now, because my nephews and nieces and stuff go to South and stuff, I'm telling them that little quickie mart right there, that little stop, man. That used to be the hip hop shop, man. I was in 6th grade going up there,
man.
And mom's dropping me off, brothers coming from school. That Tupac hot.
Come on, man. Let's talk about it, man.
Talk about it, man. I miss the hip hop shop. That is definitely a staple in South Phoenix. That, man, I wish was still here.
Nah, that's facts, man. That's facts, man. But we gonna jump into what's an average day like for you, Brandon?
Man, average day like for me is I feel like I'm a creator.
Okay.
And I have a creative mind. So the average day is really me waking up and trying to create an opportunity for my business. Try to figure out different avenue on how I can bring in another some passive income. What can I do to take my business to the next level? So I wake up, check my emails, set up my appointments for the day, and then I really just go into a marketing mode and try to reach out, do sales, do flyers. Then I hop out, go drive around. I drive around in my van, pass out flyers. I see people walking down the street. I'll pull over. Hey, have you ever heard of dog massage? And no, I've never heard about that before. So do that for a couple of hours and really try to invest in my marketing and stuff for a couple of hours. I enjoy being an entrepreneur, man. I enjoy the freedom though. That's 3 of my values are freedom, love, and peace. Okay. And so those are 3 of the things that I like to operate on. And so just having my freedom, not being under a corporate roof anymore, which I've done. And man, that was an amazing space that I was in at one point in time. But now that I'm not, I really just get to enjoy my freedom. So my day can look like anything now. I would go home, walk my dogs, chill with them, go handle my appointments, come back home. Get to spend time with my family at any given moment. So my days are pretty free and open, but I do try to fill them with productive activity.
Absolutely, man. How's your mental health, man?
Man, mental health is good. I go to a therapist, so that's one thing that I do advocate for. People always ask me, or I always tell people, I gotta go talk to that person that I gotta pay to talk to. But it's really just an unbiased opinion and a different perspective on things and how to look at things. And so I really try to take what I learned in therapy and apply it to my everyday life, but also with operating within my values, that freedom, peace, love, that kind of helps me keep my mental space at a good place as well. Because if I don't have my freedom, then, I don't have my peace.
Absolutely.
And so, it's just really trying to keep everything balanced. Work-life balance is very important to me. And so really just taking time to myself.
Okay.
Like I'm an Aries, so like I like my space.
Me time.
Me time. Like
absolutely.
My stepmom called me, I think it's called an ambivert. And so it's you can be an extrovert, but you're also an introvert. So like I'm a people person. I can go in any spot, I can adapt, I can blend in, do whatever I need to do. But after my social battery is gone, then I like to go back in the house. And I'm an introvert. I need to reset, recharge, things like that. So I do like to have my space at times. And I think that's when I reset and my mental is good again. And so, man, it is very important to take care of your mental space. And I think that's one thing going into 35 now as I get older, it's really important to be, at peace with yourself and at peace with your situation and at peace with your day, your life. And so, yeah, man, but I won't lie, man. Being an entrepreneur has their ups and downs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, I can say, my mental is good, but I'd be lying if I say I don't wake up stressed sometimes. Like, some days I'll have a couple clients, and some days I ain't got no clients. But these bills still got to get paid. So you have those stressful moments where you got to really pull yourself back out of it. And as long as you apply your values and keep God first. It's one of the biggest things. Pray on everything that you do. Everything comes back tenfold, and I think that's how I've been able to keep my head above water so long.
That's what's up, man. And when you are going through things in life, and you just need a vent, who are 3 people that's in your immediate circle that you reach out to?
Oh man, I got a couple people that I reach out to, but I think like 3 of the most immediate people that I reach out to. One would be my cousin. Her name is Michelle. Okay. But that's like my road dog. Me and her, we've lived together before, and she's one of those people that she just keeps it a buck. It's an unbiased opinion. She'll tell you how it is, and I really need that. Like, you got a lot of yes men, you got a lot of people that just tell you what you want to hear and not really tell you what it is. And so she's somebody that I can go to, vent to. Hey, look, man, she'll tell you if you're right, she'll tell you if you're wrong. And that's really important to me. Another one would be my other cousin on my dad's side, like an older brother to me. His name is Arnold, and that's like really how I keep my mental together.
Yeah, for sure.
He went to, I think he has his PhD in psychology. Might be a majors, but master's, but I'll give him his PhD. But he really puts things into certain perspectives for me. So I go to him when like things is hard, or I just don't know what to do. What's my next step? And he'll really help put things into perspective for me. How to think about it, how to look at it. And then I would say my third person would probably be one of my best friends, Bridget. Bridget, and that's just my dog. Me and her been rocking for since I was probably like 18, 19, and we locked in. That's like a sister to me, and me and her is so funny because we'll always joke. We'll be like, man, who can you call and laugh at your own pain or your own stress and make jokes about it? And so me and her always just we'll call each other and we'll chop it up, but like we always throw jokes in there, and it's a good time because like you be like, all right, man, like somebody else is in the same boat with me. Yeah, like somebody else get it. And so those would probably be 3 of the people that I go to immediately. Now I got my other people that I go to for other things, but like when something goes down, those are probably the 3 people that I go to first.
Oh, that's what's up, man. And I always see you on the gram, man. Me and you go way back.
Absolutely.
I'm saying way back. And I've always see you with good energy, good spirit, laughing, joking, having a good time, bro. Where do you get that ball of energy from, bro?
Just making other people happy, man. Yeah. Like, that's one of my biggest things. I'm a giver. Like I like to give good energy to people. Like I'm full of like jokes. I'm full of. I'm always smiling, and I think that energy rubs off on other people. And like the love that I get from so many people. I'm so many people's little brother. I'm so many people's like best friend. Yeah. And you don't want to throw that best friend title out or that bro title out to everybody.
Yeah,
but you know, when you just get so much love, and like I said, I grew up with a lot of my older brothers, you know, friends and things like that. And so, you know, I'm a little bro. I'm a little brother to a lot of people out there. But I'm also a good friend. Like, you know, I listen. I'm a good listener. You know, it's one of those situations like, you know, do you just want me to listen or do you want my opinion in the situation? You know? And so, you know, I try to give that energy back that I've always been given. I think that's just one of the biggest things to, you know, keeping that peace as well. You know, when you ain't got beef or you ain't, you know, out here going back and forth with people on the internet or people, you know, from the same neighborhood or the same streets, it's like you ain't got to worry about the bad energy, you know, following you, the bullshit and things like that. When you show love or you walk outside and everybody shake you up, dap you up, like, you ain't gotta look over your shoulders. Like, you always know you good because you ain't showed nothing but love. And so, you know, that's not saying nothing bad can happen at any point in time, but it's not something that, you know, you gotta look over your shoulder or worry about happening. So I think that's, you know, just giving the love that I've been given has really helped me, you know, just smile and, you know, keep my peace and be happy.
That's a blessing, bro. That's a motherfucking blessing, man. Man, we gonna jump into your business avenues, man. Can you tell us a bit about your journey and how you started Palms N Paws, bro?
Yeah, Palms N Paws. Excuse me. It's definitely been a journey.
Yeah, sir.
I tell you, from the beginning, it was a bittersweet blessing actually when you look at it. I used to work at GoDaddy. I worked at GoDaddy for 10 years.
Okay.
And I worked my way all the way up. So, you know, I started on the phones. I did a little bit of recruiting there. And then I jumped into branding and marketing. And it was dope because, like you said, it was more so about my energy. They asked me to do a photo shoot with them one day. I'm in customer service. I work on the phone.
Yeah.
And they asked me to do a photo shoot just like the lifestyle of a GoDaddy employee.
Absolutely.
Bad, cool. So, you know, I told them I was into cars and stuff. You know, I had a couple of old schools at the crib. They was like, do you mind if we pull up and, you know, take pictures? Absolutely. So they pulled up, they take pictures and everything. All the energy is good there. Like, perfect day. I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm thinking it's just, you know, they're going to release these pictures, send them out to the company email, you know, things like that. Yeah. A couple months later, this is like my little big sister, but her name is Jillian, and she was a branding manager over at GoDaddy, and she reached out to me one day and was all like, hey, the people that came and took the pictures with you sent your name over because they said that they think you would be really good for this this idea we have. And I'm like, all right, bet, cool. Like, what's the idea? And she's like, oh, we're going to fly you out to Oakland, and we're doing a partnership with Aisha Curry. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't know what to think about it. You know, they fly me out. I'm on screen with her as like kind of her user guide, showing her how to use her website and things like that. You know, GoDaddy's a website company, and so domain and website company, and so we get into that. Everything goes good. They send me home the next day after, you know, a full day of shooting and stuff. And a couple months later, they reach out and they're like, you did so good. Everybody loved you on set. We want to create a position for you to do this full time.
That's dope, bro.
I'm like this is a position that ain't even, you know, thought of or created. And so I'm in awe. I'm like, yes, like, please get me off these phones. Whatever I can, like I said, I'm a people person. I like to talk to people face to face and interact rather than talking to them over the phone. And so, you know, I got my big break there. Like, at that point, like, I'm like the Jake of State Farm. I'm Jake from State Farm, but I'm Brandon from GoDaddy at that point. And so, you know, I had a really good opportunity where they were basically like, in this role, we want you to find beautiful people doing beautiful things. So, like, my job is I get to go on Instagram and find businesses and reach out to these people like, hey, like, we love what you do. We would love to, you know, partner with you. And so I just got to be around so many entrepreneurs and get to see like the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, and what all these entrepreneurs go through when they started their business. And it just helped me really understand like where I wanted to be. because I always had the entrepreneur spirit. Like I was already doing massages. I learned how to do massages in like 2016. So I'm doing massages now on the back as a side hustle.
Yeah.
And so they know this too. So that's also a reason that they put me in this role. They're like, you're an entrepreneur. You get it. You can relate to these people.
Yeah.
Bet. So I, did that for like 5-6 years. I'm telling you, when I tell you this is the best job I've had, the dopest job, getting to help people, getting to take in all that information that I'm learning and apply it to my business. Mm-hmm. I'm in heaven, bro. Like I've never talked about a job like that. Like you won't hear a lot of people tell you that they love what they do. No, and so, I'm in a position where I don't want to go nowhere. Mm-hmm. Here comes the bittersweet part of it.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a this is when NILs is getting big now.
Okay.
And so, GoDaddy isn't in that NIL space now. One of my partners hit me. He worked for a nonprofit, but they help athletes get into NIL space, show them like how it works, and like really help them navigate through it. Yeah. And so he reached out to me and he was like, "Yo, like, have you guys like explored the NIL option yet?" And I'm like, "Nah, I don't think we've ever did that." He was like, "Bro, like that might be something you should think about, like talking to them about." Yeah. I bet. So, I reach out. I'm up there now. I got pull, a little bit of pull now.
Absolutely.
And so, I reach out to a couple people like, "Yo, has GoDaddy ever thought about doing anything NIL related?" "No, like what's that? What does that entail?" Gave them a whole rundown of it. Sent it up to HR and everything. They like, "We like this." Yeah. Like pitch it to your manager, your boss, and we'll see what they think about it. Cool. Got everybody on the phone. My manager, her manager, and stuff. Pitched it to them. I said before I did that though, I sent a little layout of what I was thinking over to Jillian, the one that bought me on to Brandon. Sent it over to her. She's like, "Brandon, I love this." She's like, "This is what it is." So I sent it up. They loved it. They're like, "Yes, we want to do this. We need to figure something out." So we're going to plan a day for you to go over this with all the directors and see how we can implement this. So we planned a day, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So here it comes. The day rolls around, bro. I got everything. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I have my regular meeting at like 11 o'clock. We go over everything, what we got to do for the day, do for the week. Cool. Everything is good. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. 2 o'clock roll around. They send an email out to everybody. "Hey, if you're on this email thread, you need to hop on this call." Hop on the call. Yeah, if you're on this call, unfortunately, your position has been terminated.
Are you fucking serious?
Terminated position. So, like, I'm in a frenzy now. Like, this is all I know. I've been here for 10 years. Like, this is what I know at this point. Like, so, I'm in a frenzy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm sweating. And so, I reached out just to see what was going on. And, they was like, yeah, like, unfortunately, like, they let go all these positions. And so, like, they're like, "Bro, I'm about to get the biggest break. I'm about to do what I love. I got an NIL. I'm about to be able to work in NILs, find athletes to represent the company and stuff like that." So I'm happy. Yeah, man, broke me. That like broke me because I'm like at this point now. I'm like, I don't work so hard to get to the top and create my own roles and create like people wasn't creating their own positions. I'm being able to create these roles. So I made it to the top. They cut my position. Like, so I'm like, man, like what am I going to do now? And so like it's either go back, start over at the bottom, try to work your way back up, or you can try to figure out, your own path. Like, try to work into this entrepreneurship thing. And at this time, I've been working on Palms N Paws for a little while now. So it wasn't something that was just like they made up thought. I little backstory on that. I got a cane corso. And I just did a lot of research on cane corsos, and they grow so fast. They have hip, muscle, joint issues, things like that. And so, like, I was already a massage therapist, so I got my puppy. I would just massage him out, and he loved it. Like, anytime I go to pet him now, he's falling on the floor like he want a massage. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, like cool. So I started massaging dogs for a little while, but I'm still in GoDaddy. I still got the best job ever. So that's just something on the back burner, like, and so. When they let me go, people were telling me like, this is a good idea. Like you have a really good, and nobody's doing this right now. This is your own lane. This is something that, is unique. It's not a saturated industry, so like you can really put your imprint on this.
Yeah.
And so that's what really pushed me into Palms N Paws. Like, if I didn't get fired, I'd probably still be at GoDaddy, like doing my thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know, it's a bittersweet moment because I love that role so much, but it pushed me into being who I am now, having my own business, having my freedom, you know, being able to move around how I want. And it's an amazing industry. Like, one of the biggest things that I had a problem with doing massages with, like, I just didn't like people. like I just didn't want to massage people. And this may sound crazy going into the massage industry, like you got to deal with people all day. But like, it was cool until I actually started doing it. And like, what a lot of people don't know about massage is, you know, you exchange energies. So if I'm not feeling my greatest and I'm going in here to give you a massage, I'm transferring that negative energy onto you now. If this person isn't, you know, having the greatest day or whatever, and I'm massaging them, they're transferring that energy to me. Now I'm going home feeling drained. I'm going home feeling agitated or irritated and things like that. And for the longest, I couldn't understand why until I really, you know, read up like, oh yeah, man, this energy exchange. And so, you know, it just wasn't fun to me anymore. It wasn't a passion. I still like doing massage, but it just wasn't a passion for me. And the real reason I got into massage was to help my brother Cameron. Because, you know, he had multiple sclerosis. He wasn't moving around like he used to, and like he's not as mobile. And so it's just to help massage him out, really, and, you know, keep him mobile and keep him moving. But, you know, you're always going to try to get $1 if you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, you know, and I think that was another main thing it was about the dollar when it was just massage. And so anytime it's just about the dollar, you're not really into it.
Not really into it.
It's not a passion. But man, massaging dogs, bro, like, that's a passion now.
Absolutely.
It is a passion. I love it. Dogs are always so happy. They're happy to see you. They don't complain about the massage. They don't complain about what you're listening to. Like, man, all they want to do is just be rubbed down. And so, you know, I get to go in there and do my thing and be happy doing it. And it's not like it's a job anymore. It's like I pull up, pet on some dogs. It's not really just petting, but like fill up and that's what it's like. Pet on some dogs for a little bit, and you know, going about my way. Owners will send me pictures, videos. He's so happy. He's asleep. He's knocked out. I ain't never seen him this, you know, agile or mobile like this in a while. And so that really makes me happy. And one of my biggest mottos is, you know, find a passion, find a void, and fill the void.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, I love massage. I just didn't like doing massages on people. Where's the void? Dogs got muscles too. Like, I'm pretty sure their muscles hurt. So let me see if I can fill that void by, you know, doing dog massage. And, bro, found my void and filled it. And it ain't looked back since. Like, this is booming now.
That's what's up, man. Has there a lot of doors opened up since you started this?
Oh yeah, open up doors, met people. It's a growing business. One of the biggest things that I'm taking from this right now is, because it's so new, you have to educate people about this first. Like, it's not something you're just gonna go out and people gonna buy, because people not just spending money on their dogs to get a massage. People ain't never heard about that. That's not something that they feel is necessary or benefit. But when you really educate them on, you know, the benefits of dog massage, stress, anxiety, you know, blood circulation, older dogs, keeping them mobile and active longer. You know, you're not having to take your pets to the vet and get $5,000 vet bills for an X-ray. Like, the benefits outweigh, you know, the cost of the price of the massage any day. And so when you educate people on that, they tell people, and it's growing now. So, you know, that's one of the biggest things that I'm going through right now is in my first year, is really just educating people and not getting impatient with, you know, oh man, people aren't buying or people aren't booking massages like I thought they were going to be. Like, it is going to come, because people are I hear people all the time tell me, you are onto something. You got something with this. Like, you got a gold mine. Like, you just got to stick with it. And so, you know, just those words of encouragement, support really helped me keep going with, you know, seeing this through.
Yeah, that's what's up. Is there any books or podcasts that you listen to that gave you a little bit more game about the industry that you're in?
No, not really. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a big reader.
Okay.
I think it's just the ADHD in me. Like, I'll read a whole page and forget what I just read. Now I got to go read it like 3 times for me to really comprehend and then by that time I'm like, that's when I get impatient. I'm like, yeah, man, I can't do this. But like, honestly, if you really want to know what, like, motivates me to, or gives me the tools that I need is music.
Okay.
Like Nipsey Hussle was one of the biggest ones that I listen to, and just, you know, certain things that he says or drops in his music. I have read 2 of his books. So those are 2 of the books that I did read, actually. Yeah, I did read 2 of Nip's books. And it was just a lot of game and a lot of gems in there. Anything that can help keep me motivated is where I take, you know, my resources from. Now, I've met a lot of people in the pet industry now, and it's not even people that's in necessarily my lane. This can be like pet treats and, you know, people that do treats, or, you know, do vets, and, you know, just little things like that. But the industry, just word of mouth. Like, when people tell you, I just got my dog massaged, and they loved it, and they tell another pet owner, that pet owner is they're going to see about it. And those are the people that really, really love their dog. So a lot of people ask, like, who's buying massages? Like, oh, trust me, there's people out there that's paying to get their dog massaged.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
Is there a lot of competition in this industry out here that you've seen?
No, none. I've looked up dog massage therapists, and maybe 1 or 2 people came up, but like they're either retired or they only work with like a specific group of dogs, like agility dogs that do like those little performance things. But other than that, I haven't found anyone else here that's doing dog massage.
That's what's
and
up,
so,
man.
and it's not like the people that are doing it is advertising or like really marketing this. So it's like, if I can come in and really market this and advertise this and put my paw print on it, then like I can really take over this industry. I've taken it to Houston. I know me and you was just in Houston not too long ago. I visited a little, it's called Poochie Cafe, but it's a dog inspired little cafe. So you go get your coffees, your little pastries and stuff, but you walk in there, it's a dog boutique, high end.
Oh, damn.
Like high end. And so, you know, it's just going in there and just talking to the owner. And I did a little video. Owner reached out to me and was like, yo, I love this video. When you come back out here, I want to plan an event with you. So like now I'm trying to take this to Houston. Like, I got a little van. I'm trying to drive the van down to San Diego, sit on the beach, talk to all the dog owners, people that's running on the beach. Like, there's so many different opportunities that this comes with. One of my biggest things that I'm trying to do right now is work with the canine unit. So police unit, bomb squad unit, sniff dogs, TSA dogs, just working dogs in general, because they're the ones that need massage the most. That, you know, they're training, they're working, helps with physical, emotional, mentally, keeps them focused. And so I'm trying to really get into that space now. I've talked to a few different, you know, police departments and people, and the people that I talk to are really interested in it. But, you know, like everything, there's a process to getting into that type of, you know, department or work. So, you know, just being patient, and, you know, but the doors will open. So I'm very optimistic that I'll be able to be in that space soon.
That's what's up, man. What's something about the industry that you're in that people might be surprised to learn?
Dogs love massages. And you might think that, like, who wouldn't like a massage? But like, if it was that easy, then people would be getting their dogs massaged if they understood. Really, one of the biggest things is, you know, dogs can't talk. They can't wake up and be like, you know, my back hurts, my leg hurts. You know, I'm not really trying to do that today. So as, you know, as owners, we have to go in there and really do our due diligence to make sure that they're good. And so as a massage therapist, I get to go in there and I get to really palpate through the body and see, you know, what they're not telling us. And so just one of the biggest things that I learned is they really take to massage really good. You know, first couple massages, shaking, anxiety on the table, you know, a stranger's rubbing on them and stuff. And by the third, fourth massage, now they're running to the van, hopping in the van, like hopping on the table without me having to even do anything. And so when you think about it, it's all like, they know what's about to happen now. Like, they know that felt good those first couple times. I'm here for it. And so if owners understood that about, you know, dogs, they got muscles just like you. If you went and got a massage before, and you know how you feel afterwards, imagine how your dog feels about never having a massage. And now I'm bringing this blessing to them. So that's just one of the biggest things. It's like they do enjoy it. It is very beneficial. It does bring value. And if a lot more people knew that had dogs, it was something that they would definitely, you know, look into.
That's what's up, man. What are the biggest challenges you face in your work today, and how do you navigate through them?
And a couple big challenges. It's one would just be, like I said, the educational part. You know, really just getting people to book.
Yeah,
a lot of people are interested in it, but a lot of people don't book.
Yeah.
And so, you know, one of the biggest challenges is really talking to people and getting them to pull that trigger on booking, because, you know, once they pull that trigger and they see the value that it brings, then they're like, oh yeah, this is a no-brainer now.
Yeah.
And so that's really just one of the biggest challenges, is the marketing and getting people to book. Another challenge, it would be early in this, when I first started doing it, I got bit in the face doing the massage. Yeah, so like right here, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's a big old scar right here. Like, I used to be handsome. Like, I'm scar. I call myself Scarface now. You know, a lot of people be like, you can't even notice it. I'm like, nah, I noticed it.
Yeah,
like, it's there. It's a reminder every single day. You know that, you know, this was a lesson learned, and when this happened, it was in the beginning stages of this. So it was one of those things where when it happened, it was like, do I really want to do this?
Yeah,
like,
step back.
Like, yeah, man, I had to step back for a second and be like, you know, this is crazy work.
Yeah,
you know, like, sure. A dog just bit me in my face and had to be stitched up, and face this big.
Man, how long was recovery?
Man, it took about 2 months to really recover. And man, shout outs to the surgeon that did my stitches and everything, because like you barely can notice it. Like, if I don't really point it out, you barely notice it. So, you know, I just be being dramatic sometimes. But like, they did a really good job with the stitches, and then, you know, just the recovery process, like, you know, just keeping the medication on there. The place where it happened, they were super sweet.
Yeah.
They sent me a care package with, you know, all different types of oils and scar blends and things like that, you know, really just to help with the scarring and things like that. So, you know, shout outs to them for that. But the incident itself, it was just a lesson learned, man. It was, you know, being in this industry, you have to be aware of a dog's temperament. You have to be aware of their body language. Like, if they don't like this, you know, take a step back. See what the issue is, what they don't like, and, you know, try to figure out a way to get them comfortable again with the massage. Because, you know, one of the biggest things is really just trying to force dogs to do something that they don't want to do. You know, they, like I said, they can't verbally communicate to you, like, I don't want to do that, or I don't like that. So their next action is, you know, I'm gonna bite you. And so, sure. You know, and that necessarily wasn't the case when I got bit, but, you know, I think if I'd have just been more aware and, you know, really took my training a little bit more serious, when, you know, when I got certified for this, you know, there's protocols like, hey, look, this is what you do, this is how you be more aware, you know, watch the dog's temperament, things like that. And I just got comfortable in the situation. You know, I've been working with this group or this company for a while. You know, I won't say the company because of the incident, but you know, I've been working with this company for a while, and, you know, have good rapport with them. Like, everybody there is super nice. And so when the incident happened, you know, I felt kind of bad, because, you know, you don't want to put a dog in that situation either, you know, because, you know, dogs don't know any better. And so, you know, with just that situation happening, I wouldn't want another dog to be in that situation again. So, you know, because this might be somebody else's personal dog. And so now it's just being a little bit more, like I said, just aware, and precautions being taken to make sure that I don't get hurt, the dogs don't get hurt. So that was one of the biggest challenges in the beginning. Like I said, is like, do I really want to do this? Like, is this something that I really want to put my face on the line for? But all in all, it is like, it's a passion. I enjoy doing it. Like, one bad apple doesn't spoil the whole tree. And not that dog was a bad apple, but you know, one bad situation isn't, you know, gonna stop this train. And so now, you know, I'm just a little bit more cautious when I do things, and you know, attention to detail will keep you out of trouble. And so that's one of the biggest things. Last challenge will be doing it in the heat, in the sun. You know, out here in Phoenix, it'll be 130 degrees in the summertime. And so, you know, I operate mobily, so everything happens out of the van. I do all massages in the van. So really just keeping the van cool, and, you know, trying to figure out how to keep dogs in a nice climate controlled environment. And so, you know, if it gets too hot, then I'll tell the owner, you know, do you mind if I bring the massage inside? I'll take my massage table over and we'll just do it inside. But I like the mobile aspect of doing it because there's less distractions. There's less things that I got to worry about in the house. And so when they bring them out to the van, it's just us in the van with the music vibing. And so those are just some of the biggest challenges. But, you know, these are things that, you know, either I will overcome or I already have overcome. So
that's what's up. With the van, I've seen the van. I've seen how you the start of it to the finish of it. You going in and renovating the whole thing. How did that idea come along?
You know, the idea came along. One of the 3 people that we talked about that I talked to a lot, my cousin Arnold. We were at the VIG one day, and you know, I was just talking to him. I mean, it's been an idea that I talked to with someone else about, but like it was just more so an idea that I threw out there. But with this, it was, you know, I was talking to him about it over, you know, lunch at the VIG, and he was like, "Bro, that's a really good idea." Like, that's a really good idea. So that day I went home and I grabbed a piece of paper. And I drew a van out, and I drew the van on the inside, what I want the inside to look like. Everything that I drew in the van on that piece of paper, I went in and did it. And so it was a dope because I put it on paper and then it came alive, my vision. I had really good contractors come in and really take my vision and make it a reality. And the amount of love that I get now when people see my van, like I pull up, open it up, and people are like, "Bro, this is dope." Like I wanted it to be a spa-like atmosphere. So, you know, I wanted there to be an area where the owners can sit, have a drink, watch TV if they wanted to sit in on a massage. But I also wanted to make it a comfortable atmosphere for dogs too. So, you know, just getting it down on paper, drawing it out how I really wanted it to be, and then taking that piece of paper and throwing it, you know, in the sky and watching everything unfold was really, that was the apple on top for me. It's an amazing feeling, huh? When you can bring an idea to life. Yes, it is. Because like when I tell you, I drew it on the paper. I found the piece of paper the other day, man. Actually, I was looking through the little folder, and I pulled it up. I was like, damn, I did that. I did that, man. There's a lot of other things that I done drew down, and I'm just like, shoot, what's next? Like, what did I draw down next that, you know, that's going to be my next little journey? Like, this is the main journey, but you know, there's other little avenues and opportunities still that this business is going to open up to. Absolutely. When you're not working, what do you do? What do you enjoy on your downtime? Man, I enjoy being on my dogs on my downtime. I got a cane corso, I got 2 cane corsos, and then I got a mini poodle, and I think she's a cane corso. So, you know, I like spending time at home. Like I said, like I'm a homebody. But I also enjoy, you know, spending time with my family. So, you know, working on cars with my brother. Like I'm not the one that works on it, but I'll go keep him company. For sure. So, you know, we're just, you know, going to spend time with my family, hang out with my friends. But when I say hang out with my friends, it's like we talking business. Like we're bouncing, brainstorming ideas off, you know, champagne, drinking some Hennessy, a little bit of Hennessy. Better living. Yeah, man, you feel me? Yeah. And we just talking business, and that's what I like. Like people that throw me ideas, I throw them ideas, and then to see the idea that I threw them come to fruition. Like, like that's what I enjoy doing. Traveling. You know, I got the flight bennies, so you know I'm on a flight. Better living, come on, man. Anytime I can, I'm on a flight somewhere. So I do enjoy traveling. Mexico City is one of my favorite places to go. If you ain't never been to Mexico City, man, that's one place you should definitely visit. And yeah, man, like just hanging out, like staying out the way. But you know, keeping my feet to the ground still, making sure like my next move is my best move. So like I said, I'm a creator, so like on my off time I'm trying to create something else. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So what's next for you in your personal life and professional life? What's next? Man, what's next? I got a lot of things next. Like with Palms N Paws, I'm trying to do a merchandise, a lifestyle line. So I got something called Paradise coming out. So it's really just a lifestyle line for dogs, like, you know, active wear, hoodies, sweats for owners. Like people that take their dogs walking. We want to market, you take your dog walking in the morning, we want to get you guys some gear.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Just hoodies and stuff, but matching gear as well for the pups. I'm a brunch person, so that's another thing that I do enjoy doing on my brunch time, man. On my off time is brunching.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a champagne fiend. I love me some champagne. So anytime I can go brunch, but it's like also bringing that to the dog world. Like I like dog friendly places. Like I like taking my little mini poodle to dog friendly spots, sitting there having brunch, just chilling. So I really want to bring that lifestyle wear to brunch. Like, man, match with your dog, pull up, turn heads. Like, that's something that's going on. I got a vending machine as well. So just trying to get a couple more vending machines that sell pet products. So it's like a pet convenience vending machine. So right now it's at Almost There Rescue. And so it's pretty dope because they allow me to have it there. Pet convenience option, when you go there and you adopt a dog, you got the vending machine that has all the necessary things that you can get when you leave. So, pet aid, first aid kits, nail clippers, treats, just the little things that you would need when you adopt a dog. And so, a percentage of the sales from the vending machine, we donate it back to the shelter. Just trying to get a couple more vending machines out and about. That's really going on, as far as business wise. In my personal life, man, just trying to travel more. Get out the city. A lot of people always ask, would you ever move? I love Phoenix. I don't think I would ever move from Phoenix. I enjoy traveling though, but I like coming back home.
Coming right back.
I gotta come back home. I gotta get boots on something familiar to me.
For sure.
And so just traveling, trying to take this business to the next level, to really put other opportunities around me. So for instance, looking at a nonprofit as well. But this is more so to pair dogs with people that have multiple sclerosis. For instance, my brother. So service animals that can help him with his mobility, or help, identify certain relapses, to be alert my mom. Because, a lot of times when things happen, like my mom just has to go off, gut instinct. Like, oh, I think something is wrong, so let me take him to the hospital or figure it out. And so, with service animals, they're trained to sense those things. And so, really just trying to help my mom and my brother, getting a nonprofit together that will help place service animals with families that have multiple sclerosis. So that's one of the biggest things that we're going to be working towards here pretty soon. And that's important. That's important in my personal life.
Absolutely.
Like I said, that's my brother, and I want him to have the best care. And so just little things like that will help, keep him moving around a little bit better. So, yeah, man, and just whatever comes. Like I was just reading up. Like I'm type B. I have a type B personality, so I'm not a planner. I just like to let things go with the flow. So if you ask me what's coming up, I could tell you something, and in 3 days that it'll all be different. It'll all be different. For sure. But that's the creator in me. I'll always ride that hill. It's like, bro, I'm a creator, so I'm gonna always figure something out. That's just how I operate.
That's what's up, man. A young kid coming from our environment, coming from South Phoenix, coming from the ghetto, or just a minority, right? And they're trying to jump into what you're doing. What advice would you give? Give them?
My advice would be learn a trade. Never not college or any of that. Knowledge is wealth. So, if you go and you study and you absorb all that knowledge, yes, absolutely. But I'm an advocate for learning a trade. Anytime you can make $1 with your hands, you'll never have to worry about being let off. That was the thing with me. When they let me go, I got a trade. Like, I can always make $1. I can fall back on massage. I can create a new avenue of massage if I needed to.
Absolutely.
And so that's one of the biggest things is, you don't have to go and force yourself into something that doesn't benefit you, that you're going to be miserable doing for the rest of your life. Go do something that, you're going to be happy doing. And a lot of trades open up a lot of doors to people. And so that's one of, I went and did a career day not too long ago. It was funny. I'm like, who let me talk to kids? Like, y'all trust me to talk to y'all's kids? Like, I'm a big kid myself. But now kids relate to me. And so, you know, like you said, it's that energy that you bring. And so, you know, when they can relate to somebody and they can see somebody, you know, at my age, and, you know, I may be old, a little bit older, but like I still give off that young persona, that young personality.
Absolutely.
And so being a minority and, you know, someone that has created an avenue and a lane for myself and just as successful as I've been, it's easier for me to tell them like, this is how I did it, and be real with them.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look, man, like, yeah, I did it this way, but this is how it turned out. And, you know, don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to bet on yourself. Yeah, you may fall. Yeah, it may not work out, but like, you fail once, that gives you the opportunity to know what success feels like. If you ain't never failed, you'll never know what success felt like.
Absolutely.
And so I've failed. Like I've done massage and it didn't work out for me. I've started other businesses, it didn't work out for me. Yeah. And just every single time I do something, it's not like, oh, that was a mistake. That was a lesson. And I'm gonna just take it and capitalize on that experience for the next one. And so it's really, man, like, go out there, but like, bet on yourself if you have to. Do not be afraid, but learn a trade and find something that you're passionate about and you love doing. Like, that'd be one of the biggest things that I'll tell people. Like, don't rush into adulthood.
Take your time.
One of the biggest things that I did, I was rushed in. I tried to rush myself into it. You know, I've been working since I was a sophomore in high school. And so, you know, it's crazy because like all my friends was playing basketball, playing football. Me, I'm after school, I'm going to work, straight to work. Yeah. But with that being said, like my junior year, like, man, I'm pulling up to school with the whip. Yeah. Now all my friends that's playing sports, we hopping in the whip to go get breakfast, lunch, leaving campus, like, you know, like, so, you know, it's all been a blessing. Like everything that I've, you know, been through, everything that I've worked towards, that's got me up to this point, it's all been a blessing. And so that's just something that I always try to look back on, and, you know, never worry about where I am. I worry about where I came from.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, and where I can be. And so that's just one of the things that I try to really harp on, especially with my nieces and nephews. So them coming up, like, I ain't got kids, but I got nieces and nephews that I love like my own. So I really just try to instill in them, you know, the values that I have. Yeah,
absolutely. Any shout outs or
you
want to give out?
Oh yeah, man. Hey, look, like I said, I really want to shout out to Jillian. Like, that was me and her. That was my Jordan and my Pippen. Yeah. And, you know, that it was either Jordan and Pippen or Phil Jackson and Jordan. That was me and her. So, you know, Jillian, she really helped me grow into this space of being an entrepreneur. I'll tell you a quick story and why I give her a shout out, man. One time when I was first starting out in branding, you know, me, I'm posting stories, like Hennessy, turned up, you know, in the clubs, turned up, all this. You know, now I'm in branding and marketing, and GoDaddy's actual page is tagging me and stuff now. Yeah. And how they let me keep Damn Daddy as my Instagram handle, I don't know. But it was to a point where, like, even they was like, we may have to change this. I don't know if this is gonna work. Like, we can't have you with this Damn Daddy. Yeah. But they knew that was me though. Yeah. Like, they was like we can't change him. And so, you know, but she did, like, one day she reached out to me. She saw one of my stories and she reached out. She was like, hey, look, you're in a space now where you're representing a Fortune 500 company.
Absolutely.
And so you have to be better. Like, you have to, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, you
clean it up.
Yeah, you have to clean it up. Yeah, like, you can't be on Instagram just doing all this, because now there's eyes on you. Yeah. And so, you know, at first I was young. I was like, man, like, if it's my Instagram, like, y'all got a problem with it, like, unfollow me. Like, or I can create a different Instagram and y'all can tag that one, but, like, I'm not changing. Yeah. So I hit the other person that I always talk to, my cousin Michelle. Like I said, first 3 people I hit her, told her, man, they trying to have me change my Instagram, whoop de whoop. She's unbiased. She was like, okay, like, I understand where you're coming from, but, like, what's the worst that can happen if you do this? Like, think about that. Like, like, you're growing up. Like, you're in a position now where, once again, you have all these eyes on you. Like, what opportunities will be passed up if you continue to, you know, project yourself like this, or put yourself out there like this? Like, just think about it. Yeah. And, you know, so, you know, I'm still like, oh man, like, I'm not whoop-de-whoop. But the more I thought about it, like, she was right.
Yeah.
Like Jillian was absolutely right. So, you know, they let me keep my Instagram handle, but like I cleaned up things, and, you know, GoDaddy's tagging me and all types of stuff. People following me. These entrepreneurs that I'm working with is following me now. And so I'm seeing what she's telling me now. Like, it wasn't just about trying to control me or, you know, whoop-de-whoop, but it was more so like, I'm trying to look out for you. I'm trying to help you. Like, I see what you can do. I see your potential, and I just want to take that to the next level. And so, you know, shout outs to her, because, you know, without her and that guidance that I had with her for those past couple years, I wouldn't be in the space that I'm in right now. And so, man, shout outs to her. You know, like, shout outs to my barber, Jay Bird.
What's happening?
Like, shout outs to him, because he got me right for the podcast.
Let's talk about it.
And let's talk about it. I had to go in there this morning. My appointments is always Saturday.
Yeah.
I went in there today. Hey, I gotta go handle something. He was all like, "Gee, I got you, big. I got it." So, you know, shout outs to Birdie.
That's love.
You know, shout outs to Bridget as well, you know, because she's an entrepreneur as well. You know, she has the Hive mobile bartending, and so she was actually, you know, an entrepreneur before I was. So seeing her come from where she, you know, having a little bar and setting up at places to now, you know, companies calling her. That's what. And one of the biggest things I was able to do while working at GoDaddy was put my friends in better positions, because now GoDaddy has sponsored Bridget's business. She's worked our party. She works all their events. Like, anytime they need something, they reach out to her, and it makes me happy, because it's all like, if you can put somebody's room in a name that they're not in and help them put them on, that's love right there. Dope, and so, you know, really to be able to, you know, put her on in a position and see her grow and take her business to the next level, that's motivation for me to take my business to the next level. So, you know, everybody that, you know, is an entrepreneur, man, shout outs to y'all, because y'all keep me going. You know, like, she had the unique fantasy.
Come on, man. Let's
talk about it, man. I remember doing photo shoots. She used to pull up with, "Hey, man, I got a photo shoot. I want you to be in it." Whoop-de-whoop, man. Took us downtown that one time, man, and did a whole photo shoot. And shoot, that like, just the hustler mentality. Like I said, you know, in South Phoenix, there's a lot of hustlers down there. You got Humble Clothing, you got Cuddies, you got, you know, Southern Fried, you got, like, there's so many business down there. Sweet Treats, forgive me, but, you know, the black owned cookie vending machine business, I forget their name, so forgive me, but, you know, just seeing black businesses come from the South Side, you know, shout outs to all of them. For sure. Shout outs to this podcast. Shout outs to you for, you know, allowing me to come on your platform and really tell my story and tell how I got into, you know, the spaces that I've gotten into, because, you know, doing this and people seeing this will help understand, you know, why I do what I do. Why I'm a dog massage therapist, you know, why I'm always with my brother Cameron, you know, because, you know, that's one of the most important people in my life. And so, yeah, man, just shout out. And if I missed anybody, you know, Palms N Paws, shout outs to the business. Shout outs to Needed Me. That was my first massage business, so I wouldn't be here without that. Shout outs to my parents, you know, a big support system when times was hard, you know, going to be an entrepreneur. I'm not gonna lie, that's hard. And I will not portray like I'm the richest person. I will definitely tell you I've been at my brokest moments being an entrepreneur.
Talk about it, man.
I'll tell you, there's times I didn't know how bills was gonna get paid. I didn't know how I was gonna have a meal. And, you know, really just have, a lot of people don't have that support system with their family to be able to fall back on and help. And, you know, I've been so fortunate that you know, I have the family that supports me. So, you know, just shout outs to my family and everybody that supported me in this business. Shout outs to all my clients that support me. You know, that continue to book those massagers, that continue to, you know, pour into me and give me words of, you know, encouragement and support. Like that means the world. So, man, shout outs to everybody that's just been in my corner for sure.
That's what's up, man. And where can people follow you at, man?
Man, follow me on Palms N Paws _ on Instagram, Palms N Paws on Facebook. Trying to get my TikTok up. I just started doing TikTok. Like I said, I'm an old soul, man, so it took me a while to get into the TikTok space. But, you know, I've been trying to do that. Official Palms N Paws on TikTok. And I'm really starting to get my YouTube up as well. So Palms N Paws on YouTube as well. And that's Palms, the letter N, Paws. So, Yeah, man, please follow, reach out, comment, and interact with me, ask questions. Like, if you want to learn anything about dog massage, how I got into it, look, you want me to come to a career day, man, I'll pull up. So I definitely want to pass on as many gems as I can, and really just encourage people to, step into their passion, because that's what I did. And, man, it's been the best thing I ever did.
Yeah, it's dope, man. Taking a risk, man. No, I really appreciate you pulling up on me, man. This, I try to get a lot of South Side influence in this building first.
Man, I appreciate that.
I worry about all the other people second, but South Phoenix, I'm going to get them in there first, tell their story. So I appreciate you pulling up to Media on Mail, the Chee Chatman Show. And, bro, keep doing your shit, bro. Like I said, we go way back. Been watching you since we was when we came up together, bro. So
and man, it's crazy because, man, you don't think people be watching you. Like that's the thing, is like you never know who has eyes on you, who's watching you, who's supporting you in the background. And so, man, for you to say that, I definitely appreciate that. And that's just motivation to keep going, because now it's like you got eyes on you, man. You got South Phoenix behind you. And so, I'm trying to put us on the map. Like, like from a business standpoint, like, man, if you ain't never heard of dog massage before, just know it originated in Phoenix, Arizona. South Phoenix area.
Come on now.
So just know, like, we gonna be on the map soon.
That's what's up, man. No, I appreciate you,
man.
I appreciate
Thank you so much,
bro.
I appreciate it.
We gonna sip up. We gonna sip up, man.
Hey, Chee Chatman Show.
Man, shout out to my boy Brandon. It's business. Media on Mail, the Chee Chatman Show, and we going like that, man.